Fantasy Football Show. Today is Tuesday, December 27th. I'm excited for today's show. It's the championship week, week 17, must-have players. What are we looking at this week? Who's the flavor of the week for quarterback and defense? You can follow the show on social media at Fantasy Knockout. Make sure to subscribe, whatever platform you're watching or listening on. And let's hit this goal of 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Let's talk some news.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the news.
News with views. So quarterback Tua Tagovailoa out of Miami. His head coach Mike McDaniel said that Tua is in concussion protocol. Oh, wow. To make things worse, McDaniel said he wasn't sure when Tua suffered his concussion. So this is not good. Looks like Teddy Bridgewater's probably going to get the start there in Miami. Wide receiver Christian Watson out of Green Bay. His head coach Matt LaFleur said that Watson is day-to-day with a hip injury. Quarterback Jalen Hurts out of Philadelphia. His head coach Nick Sirianni won't rule out Jalen with his shoulder injury playing in Week 17. So otherwise, if he does, Gardner Minshew will get the nod again. Head coach Nathaniel Hackett out of Denver. He has been let go. And Denver has named senior assistant coach Jerry Roseberg as interim coach. Quarterback Zach Wilson from the Jets. His head coach Robert Saleh told reporters that Wilson will be inactive for Week 17. That makes it Mike White back as a starter. And then quarterback Lamar Jackson out of Baltimore. His head coach John Harbaugh said that we'll have to see, quotes, when asked about whether or not Lamar with his knee issue will practice this week. We're talking about practice, not playing. Harbaugh has opened each of the last 2 weeks with a vague answer on Lamar's status. So right now, I doubt that anything will change. And then running back Leonard Fournette from the Tampa Bay Bucks, he tweeted that he's playing through a Liz Frank injury in his foot. He was kind of upset about people saying that he's out of shape and etc. So, okay. Main event, the players add for Week 17, waiver edition. Let's go. It's championship week. Hopefully you guys don't need to pick anybody up other maybe than a defense. Hopefully your teams are pretty stacked and solid and you've escaped the injury bug. All right. So quarterbacks, if you're in need of a quarterback, Brock Purdy from San Francisco, 37% owned. Gardner Minshew out of Philly, 27% owned. Mike White from the Jets, 17% owned. Baker Mayfield from the Rams, he's about 9% owned. Tight end this week, Tyler Conklin from the Jets, about 27% owned. Taysom Hill from New Orleans, 55% owned. Tyler Higbee and Cole Kmet. Tyler Higbee's from the Rams, Cole Kmet from the Chicago Bears. They're both about 65% owned. See if they're available. Running backs, if you're in need of a running back, Cam Akers from the Rams, he's about 68% owned. Tyler Algier out of Atlanta, about 49% owned. James Cook from Buffalo, about 52% owned. Gus Edwards from Baltimore, about 41% owned. Deion Jackson from Indianapolis, about 27% owned. Zach Moss from Indy, he's about 44% owned. And then Marlon Mack from Denver, he's about 8% owned. Some wide receivers this week, Jahan Dotson from Washington, about 23% owned. Isaiah Hodgkins from the New York Giants, he's about 2% owned. Rashid Shaheed from New Orleans, he's about 8% owned. Jacoby Myers from the Patriots, 64% owned. Russell Gage from Tampa Bay, 15% owned. Romeo Doubs from Green Bay, he's about 17% owned. And then Greg Dortch from Arizona, he's about 2% owned there. Guys, it's playoff time, so drop that fifth string receiver, the fifth running back on your team that you're not going to start this week. Go pick up an extra defense to play defense against your opponent if they're in need of a quarterback or defense. Pick somebody up so that they don't have that option. Some streaming quarterbacks this week. Brock Purdy from San Francisco. He's at the Raiders. He's got he's about 37% owned. He's got the solid matchup against a defeated Las Vegas team. Mike White from the Jets. He's at Seattle. He's about 17% owned. Good matchup against what should be a high-scoring matchup and a good game there. Streaming defenses this week. My top one is going to be the New York Giants. They're versus Indianapolis at home. They're about 11% owned. The last 4 games, they've had 16 sacks, 0 interceptions, 3 fumble recoveries, and they have a good matchup. Jacksonville Jaguars is another defense I'm looking to target this week. They're at Houston, 18% owned. Last 4 games is 12 sacks, 4 interceptions, 4 fumble recoveries. Great matchup there. And then the third one is the Atlanta Falcons. Not my favorite, but they should be doable this week. They're versus Arizona at home. They're about 3% owned, so they are available. Last 4 games, 2 sacks, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery, and they got a good matchup. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today. Good luck this week. The next show is going to be the Week 17 must-start players. Thank you for listening to the show. Make sure to subscribe whatever platform you're on. Please leave that rating and review. Really helps me out. All right. Till next time. See ya.